All right, what's up, guys? VV back with another video. And in today's video, guys, we're going to be checking out a game from the East. We're going to be checking out a game of Blue-Black Usopp versus Red Shanks. Okay, this was from about a week and a half ago. It was the very first major tournament in the East that was, legal for OP10 cards to be in. So this should be a lot of fun to check out. This is something we have not done in quite some time on the channel, where I actually commentate over a game and whatnot. So let's do this, guys. Let's get into it. Let me go ahead and tell you guys what all we're getting into. First things first, we are going to be watching this game and analyzing it, breaking it down. I'm going to be commentating over it. And this will kind of work as like the VV lab for the day, right? And then we're going to head over to we're going to check out the meta. We're going to do a meta breakdown for OP09 and OP10. So for the West and the East, we'll check that out. That will kind of work as the topic of the day. And then we'll finish off with with two games of Katakuri on the sim. Both games are going to be against Blackbeard, so that should be a lot of fun. I recorded them a while back. Now I wanted to share those with you guys. Just two fun games, nothing too crazy, no deep dive or anything. But I'll share the deck list at the end. I'll give you guys my final thoughts, and we'll wrap it up in that way. All right. I'll have all relevant. Excuse me. I'm gonna skip a step there. I'll have I'll have everything timestamped in the general description, and I'll have all relevant deck lists and links down in the comment section below. Okay. All right. Let's do this, guys. We're struggling. Let's get through this. All right. Here we go. So here we go. We have a game here of Usopp versus Shanks, and it looks like, okay, they're playing quick here. I do have it on 2x speed. Usopp is going first. They're going to start off with a Searcher from Rebecca, and they are on the left, and it's going to be against Shanks on the right. Okay, all right, here we go. Okay, so they're going to go ahead and do a top 3 search, and they're going to grab a 7-cost Kairos. Now, real quick, we can see the hands here. Let me go over the hands real quick. The Usopp player has the new 1-cost Leo, the 1-cost stage, the Corda Coliseum. I guess not the new. Did I say the new? No, it's just the 1-cost stage. And then the 8-cost Gecko Moria, the 4-cost Cavendish, and the 7-cost Kairos. On the right, okay, now they have a lot of defensive stuff going on the right here. 2K counter, this is the new Chopper. 2K counter Lime Juice, 2 of those. A Radical Beam, Building Snake, just random utility, minus 3,000 power for the turn, and Rayleigh to draw 2 trash 1 potentially, and it's a 5-cost 6K blocker. So here we go. Let's see what they choose to do this turn. Yeah, just pass. There's nothing they can do. I guess they could have played out the Building Snake potentially. I don't know. See, here's the thing. I don't know what Blue-Black Usopp's running these days. I don't know if they're going to run Brook or something like that. I don't know what they're going to run, right? So, and I don't know if the guy on the right does either, because it's so new in the format, because I don't know why he wouldn't just play out a Building Snake there. I mean, I don't think it's the worst thing in the world not playing that out, but at the same time, what are they really going to use removal this early on Building Snake, unless it's something like Brook, like I said, and I don't know if they're even running that, so we'll have to see what happens. I don't know how much removal Blue-Black Usopp's just running in general. Okay, so the Usopp is going to play out the stage. They're going to play out the new Leo that does a top 5 search for 2 Dressrosa cards, but you have to rest a stage or rest a leader with the Dressrosa type. And then you're going to trash a card after you do that. So you'll do a top 5 search for 2 cards, and then you're going to trash a card after the effect. Okay, so that's 3 Zoros, a 2K counter, 1-legged toy soldier, and the new 7-cost Kairos, which is a 7-cost 9K with no counter that can bounce a 5-cost back to hand. Right, so that's actually a pretty interesting search there. Yeah, so he's really struggling with this. I would actually say, hang on, let me see one thing real quick. If he gets his hand back out. I don't know if he's going to. Let me try and pause. Yeah, okay. So it looks like he's going to grab the 2K counter and the Zoro. I agree with that, because that's 3 Zoros we just saw. The likelihood of him seeing the 4th one in this game are very low compared to seeing another Kairos. So we'll have to see what happens. Okay, he does go with the 2K counter and the Zoro. The Zoro can pop a 4 or less and trash 2 cards from the top of your deck. Now we have to trash a card, though, for the second part of the effect. Let's see what we trash. Going to trash, looks like a Kairos. Okay, yeah, it looks like he trashes the Kairos, but he does have another, wow, okay, swinging for 6, and the Shanks is about to take this, guys. It does look like the Blue-Black Usopp player has another Kairos in their hand. Maybe they drew it for the turn. I didn't actually see when that happened. Okay, but we'll take it. Okay, and the Shanks is going to take it too, even though they have 3 2K counters in hand. That's a very gutsy play there, a little bit greedy. But hey, that might help. We drew a 2K counter, Otama for the turn, and a Rayleigh from Life, I think it was. Okay, swing 7. Yeah, they don't have any other play, do they? They really don't have another play. Just swing 7, leave 2 Dawn active, threatening a Rad Beam, or excuse me, threatening, well, yeah, a Rad Beam or a Red Hawk, And yeah, let's see what happens here. Drawing the 7 cost Rebecca for the turn. And what are we going to do? We did get the, I think we took the hit, the 7K hit, and I think that's where we got the Frankie from. So going to swing for 6. Just a very annoying little poke for 6. We love to see that. And let's see what they do here. Just trying to eat up counter or cards from life. Get a card from life. Wow. I mean, I'm so surprised they're not 2K countering out or something. Just saving, you know. Let me say this, guys. Early on, that's when the little 5 and 6K attacks usually come through. 7's always a menace. But like the 5 and 6K attacks are the early on attacks that you kind of want to get out of for free. But I guess Shanks can always turn a 7 into a 6 and 2K counter out in that way. So maybe he's trying to show like, oh man, I have no 2K counter. Maybe he's trying to telegraph like, hey man, I just don't have any 2K counter. I'm sorry. You know, it is what it is. But he actually has quite a bit. He has 4 2K counters in hand. Because that new chopper card's a 2K counter as well, I believe. Okay, so here we go. Going to swing in for 5, it looks like. Maybe not. Look, they're really considering their play here. They have 6 Dawn, so they could go Rayleigh here, even though it won't draw 2 trash 1 and sit on a Rad Beam. Okay, now they play out the Building Snake. And the Rayleigh. I expected the Rayleigh to come down this turn because you have to play something. You have to play something, right? And it looks like they have a Shanks in hand, and I can't tell what the card is on the far right. Okay, and it looks like we drew a Quarter Coliseum for the turn for the Usopp player. And they did counter out with a Frankie, getting that into the trash. That's going to help them out later in the game when they drop down their 8-cost Gecko Moria. But we're on a 7 Dawn turn now. So I think what's probably going to happen is just swing for 5. Let's see. Yeah, swing for 5. And then we'll be able to play out the 7-cost Rebecca. And the Rebecca will come in as an 8 as an 8 Dawn character, which will allow them to draw a card and then reveal 2 cards that cost 7 or less, playing, and then, pause, it's very confusing, hang on one second. So it will play out a 7 cost or less character. I'm actually going to read it on the side here, and hopefully I put it up on the screen for y'all. We'll see how I'm feeling when I put the video together, like when I go to, if I choose to edit it or not. If you guys are lucky, I'll have it on the screen for you, but otherwise, I don't really plan on it, so we'll have to see. Hang on one second, guys. Let me read it on the right here for me. Okay, so it is an on play if there is a character with a cost of 8 or more. But remember, Usopp actually gives +1 to the Rebecca. That's part of the leader effect. And if there is a character with a cost of 8 or more, draw 1 card, then reveal up to 2 Dressrosa type character cards with a cost of 7 or less other than Rebecca from your hand. Play 1 of the revealed cards and play the other card rested if it has a cost of 4 or less. So you're playing out the 7 cost. You're revealing the 7 and 4 cost characters here, playing out the 7 cost Kairos, which is bouncing back the Rayleigh to hand, and then playing out the 4 cost, whatever his name is, Zoro there, to KO this Building Snake and trash the top 2 cards of his deck. Very interesting interaction there, very powerful. Okay, and here we go. Let's see what happens next. Going to swing for 6, which is going to draw 2, trash 1. Seems good. Trashing the stage. Beautiful, man. That is really nice. And this board is stacked and very cluttered. I wish the judge or the ref or whatever you want to call him, the judge, would say, hey, you know, please space your cards out. You don't have to stack the cards. They've got like an entire foot's worth of, like 1.5 feet, 2 feet worth of distance on this board to cover up. Please don't stack your cards when you're on the feature table. It's a matter of habit, though. I know players do this. It's habit. Okay, there we go. Thank you. He heard me, guys. Very good. Even though this was a week and a half ago. Excellent. All right, so let's see what happens here. Shanks is kind of up against the ropes. They have 8 Dawn this turn. I think this is a Rayleigh. Yeah, you just slam Rayleigh every single time. Okay, so what was... hang on. So hang on here. So they are going to go -3 to the Cavendish and then pop it with the Rayleigh effect. And they give -2 to the Zoro. And he's probably just going to swing 5 into Zoro. Okay, yep, I think that's the right call. There might have been another play there. Swinging 5 into 4 with no 2K count. No, 2 2K counters in hand. Yeah, I would definitely save this card. Because I would 2K counter right here. Actually, hang on. So there is another line of thought here as well. This guy on the left is going to want to play out the Gecko Moria next turn. And if he does that, he's going to have to trash a character anyway. And here's the thing. If he, playing out the Gecko Moria is going to allow him to play out the Zoro again. right? So he can just play it out again if he needs to. And it looks like he's checking his trash right now to see what all he can get. But see, there's an option. He can just counter out with double Idio. I think he has. I think the character's name is Idio in hand. The 2-cost 1K blocker, and it's like he can just put two. He can throw 2 of those in the trash and just bring 1 into play. But I don't know if that's the right call. I would probably just let the card go unless he has a better target in his trash. It looks like he does have a Cavendish in there and a Frankie. Yeah, so I don't know. I would consider saving this card. Yeah, and that's what he's doing right now. He's really, really deep in the tank here. It is relevant because he has a 1-cost searcher as well. So what he could do is just... okay, so he should be on 9 Dawn next turn. He will be able to swing in for 5 with the Rebecca. Just attach 1 Dawn to the Rebecca, swing in for 5. And then he will be able to swing for 5 with the leader, swing for 9 with the Kairos. Then he'll be able to play out the Gecko, replacing both Rebeccas with a 4-cost Frankie and then a 1-cost Rebecca, because there's already a 1-cost Rebecca in the trash, and get some really high value from that. Let's see what happens. Okay, he's going to do some type of effect here. He's pointing at the Zoro. Oh, excuse me. He's probably going to counter out is what's going on. Okay. Wait. What just happened? He used the 2K counter Bartolomeo. So 5 into 4, 2K counter out. Now, the Zoro is a 4K on this turn. So I would just not swing for 1 turn with him. There's no reason to swing this turn with him. Okay, he's going to swing for 6. Very interesting. I'm very curious to see what he's going to do here. Okay, so 2K counter. Swing for 9. And I would just take this if I'm the Shanks player. Just go down to 2. It is what it is. I don't think it's really a big deal. Okay. And then they have 8 Dawn left. You know it's coming next, right? I mean, I feel like you have to know it's coming next. So the player on the right... Oh, perfect timing on this pause. Behind my head is a Rayleigh, by the way. That's a 5-cost 6K 1K counter Rayleigh. Remember, that got bounced back to hand with the Kairos. Here's the idea. The Shanks player has to consider if he can drop down the Shanks this turn. So he may very aggressively counter out here by going leader effect 2K to counter out, just so he can, keep his life high, slam down the Shanks, and try to gobble up the board with the Rayleigh Shanks and the leader Shanks. So that's the consideration going on right now. And I get that. I would still greedily take this. I'm not going to lie. I mean, he's already taken it this time. But okay, it looks like he is considering it. So leader effect and then 2K, I think. Deep in the tank here. Deep in the tank. Yep, I do like that. He's really considering it. And I would definitely do the 2K counter here. I would definitely do the... Actually, excuse me. I would take it. What am I talking about? I think he's going to 2K. Okay, he took it. Wow, he ended up taking it. Gets another 2K counter. Excellent. Very, very good. The Chopper's a 2K counter, like I said. I'm like 99% sure of that. Okay, and then going to slam down Gecko. That's the right play every time. Going to replace... See, this is what I was saying. Okay, so that's why I would have swung 5-5. So, I mean, yeah, one would have got hit with the leader effect. The other would have got probably a 1K counter. But who knows? End up being fine this way. And they do a top 5 search with the... That must have been a Leo. I didn't quite see what it was. It is. So they played out the Frankie active. They're playing out the Leo rested because who cares? And then let's see what they look at. They see a 2K... They see double Bartolomeo 2K counters. The Idio blocker, 2-cost blocker. 1-cost, I'm assuming that's another Leo, and a Gecko Moria. Well, we already have 2 Idios in hand. So I would, and I don't think you can actually grab, I don't think the Leo can target itself. So I would just grab the, in fact, I could look it up right now. It's right next to me. Yeah, other than Leo, bracketed, so without that name. So I think he can, I would just grab the 2 2K counters personally, and then I would trash the Idio, one of the Idios I have in my hand. Yep, so he's going to do that. It looks like that's what he's going to do, trashing the Rebecca in hand, actually, not the Idios. All right. Let's see what happens next. Past the turn, of course, but let's see what the Shanks does. So 10 Dawn, you just have to slam. Hang on, yeah, I would definitely play out the. I would definitely play out the Shanks first. So I would play out the 10-cost Shanks first. So going to go 5 face here, 1K counter. Going to go 8. Yeah, the player on the left knows, like, okay, you're going to play out the 10-cost. Okay, I gotcha. See, so that's why I would have done things like slightly differently here, and I'll explain after. I want to see what he does, because I would slam Shanks and go 12 straight into the what would be an 8,000 power Kairos. Okay, So, okay, so wait, so what did he do? He is going to give him a 2K, 2K to get out of that 8K attack. Here comes 12, and I would go 12 into the 8. Yeah, he's going to block it. That's going to be able to draw a card from the Usopp effect, and then he's going to be able to grab a, I think it's a 3-cost or lower character from the trash, something like that. Let me pause and look it up, guys. Like I said, hopefully I'll have this on the screen for y'all to look at. But yeah, he can grab a 3-cost or lower character from the trash to put into play. The Frankie can. Okay. And here we go. They grabbed a Rebecca. Interesting. Hey, there's the 4th. I think that's the 4th Zoro right there, guys. So we've gone through all 4 Zoros now. Interesting. So what are we going to do? I like the 2K counter a lot because we have a blocker in hand already. And we actually only have 2K counter in hand. So let's see what they choose. A very, very important decision here. I mean, I feel like you have to go the 2K counter, right? Because if you go one of those other cards, your board is full. Your board's completely full. Okay. Yep, 2K counter, absolutely. That was definitely the right decision in my opinion. I don't think there was a close second. I mean, I guess you could double blocker up if you wanted to, but you already can do that with playing out your second like this turn. Let me pause real quick. So this is a 10 Dawn turn. If he was really obsessed with like, oh, I need a blocker, well, that's easy to do, right? Because we have the Frankie in the trash. We have the second 8-cost Gecko Moria in hand. So we can swing completely out this turn for just 5s and up. And then, you know, so it would be 5, 6, 9, 9. And then we can just replace the 2 little characters on the board with a Gecko Moria plus pulling back a Frankie from the trash active. Don't even bring back the second character if you don't want to, or from the Gecko effect, and then just play out the second Idio from hand because we'd have 2 Dawn left and just have double blockers, 3 life. You know, we'd be looking pretty good then. Actually, I guess we can't swing for 5. Well, no, we could. It'd be 5, 5, 8, 8 because of the Shanks on the board. So swing for 5 to start. Let's see if he wants to use his leader effect. Okay, yep, swing for 5. He's like, okay, leader effect. Swing for 5, 1K counter, swing for 8. Okay, 2K, 2K. I would probably take this one because he's going to take the next one no matter what, right? He's going to take the next one pretty much no matter what. Interesting, he's going to counter out. Maybe he's trying to counter out of 2 of them. He has a 2K and another 2K. So 8 and 8. So, okay, maybe he is going to go 2K, 2K here. No, okay, very odd he wouldn't take first then, but I guess it didn't matter either way. And here we go. We're going to slam down a 8-cost. He's probably just going to... Oh, wait, what is this? He's paying 2. I'm not sure what's... I think he took his play back. He's tapping Dawn and then bringing it back. I don't think he knows what he wants yet. Okay. Really big fan of the Dawn on the left there, guys. You see that Sabo Dawn, the foiled one? It's not the gold Sabo Dawn, so it's kind of trash compared to that, but it's okay. No, I'm just kidding. But no, it looks really good. Looks really, really good. So they're trying to do some math right here. It looks like they're going to consider replacing these cards. Yeah, I would just, I mean, personally, I would just, okay, slam the one-legged, oh, okay, we're going to try to remove a character from the board. That's odd to me. That's odd. Because I would say, yeah, swing in 3 times. I would just block her up. So what I was saying to do there, guys, what I would have done, I would have completely ignored that card on the board, the Rayleigh, and I would have gone, what's his name, the Gecko Moria, bringing back the 4-cost Frankie, and then playing out the 2-cost blocker in my hand and saying, your turn, I've got 2 blockers, 3 life, you only have 3 attacks, and I have double 2K counter in hand. But it might not matter in the end. We'll have to see what happens. So they are going to bring back the Suru. They're going to be able to pop the Rayleigh because that was -3, -2, pop a 4 or less. That would have hit a 9. So they almost could have hit, they actually could have almost hit the Shanks. Very close. But here we go. Let's see what happens. We do have 4 cards or less in hand right now. So I think it's if you have 5 or less cards in hand with the new Frankie leader, the new Usopp leader, you'll be able to draw a card. Yeah, it's if you have 5 or less cards in hand and you lose a card on the board, you could draw a card. So we will be able to draw in that way. Excuse me. And what are they going to do now? This is a really interesting spot to be in. I'm going to swing for 12 into... I mean, this is his chance to try to go for like an 8K body. I would aggressively counter out of this. I'm not going to lie. At this point, yeah, here's a 2K, 2K, 1K. Absolutely. Here you go. 2K, 2K, 1K. So 12 into 8, 2K, 2K, 1K. It was a Bartolomeo, that little 2-cost blocker, and I think it was another 1-legged toy soldier. All he has is a core to Coliseum in hand. Oh, well, man. That's all you got. That's all you got. But I'll tell you what. This is a really rough spot to be in for the player, for the Shanks player. I think you have to go 10 into the 8. I think you have to go 10 or 9 into the 8 and sit on a rad beam. No. See, so I would risk going 8 into the 6 or something at this point. Or I guess I wouldn't be risking it, right? Hang on, here we go, pause. So, no, actually, he only has 9k bodies on the board, so they're 8,000 after the Shanks debuff, right? The Shanks character debuff. So, I think you just have to put 3 on your leader, swing 8 into one of these bodies, and just hope for the best. Just hope for the best. Because you have double rad beam you want to sit on and some counter with 1 life and a blocker. But here's the thing, if you choose to do that, you're in deep trouble, right? Because now you're losing all your momentum. So he might just try to go for... I'm surprised he didn't try to go to face the more I think about it. Because he had the blocker play. What was that? Oh, draw 2, trash 1. He was trashing with Building Snake. Okay. Yeah, especially since he had a Building Snake in hand, he could have easily cleaned up a character there. Like, I mean, he had a Building Snake in hand the entire game, right? Yeah, see, he has 2 of them. So I would have probably tried to get rid of that. Like, use 1 to -3. Okay, it's a little late now, I guess. -3 on that guy. We'll go 7 into 5, it looks like. Yeah, because remember, he's an 8,000 power from the Shanks character, and then another -3 from the Building Snake. And here we go. If I'm the Shanks, if I'm the Usopp player, I am all in here. Let's just go everything face. Yeah, I mean, I would try to make everything 9s, first of all. Like, I would go 1 Dawn on Cairo, swing 9. 1 Dawn on Gecko, swing 9. And then see what kind of response that gives me. Okay, because he has 2 Dawn open. Okay, so it's either a rad beam. Okay, so he's going to go 9 on the Zoro first. Because remember, it's a 5,000 power character because of the Shanks. So this is the largest Dawn investment, but at the same time, they're probably trying to play around a Red Hawk. But I just wouldn't. I mean, to play around Red Hawk... Okay, pause. Let's talk about that. In case he was trying to play around Red Hawk, remember, he's a 5,000 power character. So leader effect, when attacking, to drop him down to a 4, Red Hawk will wipe him off the board. So just attach a single Dawn to the Zoro player, and we're good. And then you can go swing 9 with the Kairos, swing 9 with the whatever his name is there, and you still have 7 Dawn left to play with. You know, with 9 with the Kairos, 9 with the Gecko. Okay, so Rad Beam gets out of that pretty easily with the leader effect. That's fine. We'll swing for 9. And the leader effect is used up. The leader effect is gone. I think at this point we have to take the hit. I personally would probably take this one and see what he does. Okay. Deep in the tank. This is a very relevant decision here. This is a very, very important decision. Okay, it looks like they're really considering pulling on the Rad Beam. Okay, they were showing the announcers in the East are probably explaining what I just explained, where they showed the Red Hawk on the side. Okay, so Rad Beam plus 2k counter is going to get out of that, and here we go. Smash. Yeah, it looks like he might go everything into the Shanks. Is that what he's doing? Everything into Shanks makes no... Okay, 9. Thank you. That makes way more sense. So 9 into face here, and then swing for 9 using the blocker and 2k. Very nice. All right, well, this is looking pretty decent for the Shanks player now. I don't know who wins this game, guys, but this is looking pretty decent for the Shanks player. All right, 8 Dawn. They're scooping up 8 Dawn like they want to do something there. What is the call? What is the call here? They keep separating 8 to the side. What did they top deck? It looks... Is that a dragon or a Rayleigh? I can barely see from this angle. His arm's like right in the way. I think it's a dragon. Okay, so he's doing some math here. Okay, it's telegraphing so much. It's like, okay, we see you have 8 Dawn. What are you going to do? Like, is it going to be Rayleigh or is it going to be dragon? We know it's going to be dragon. Okay, tap 8. So he swung for 7. Now he's going to attach 2 rested Dawn there. He's going to swing for 8. 2k gets out of that. And, okay, now... now what? Now what? Okay, and that's going to be a game. I at least go for the board, but it didn't matter, right? It just didn't matter at that point. He was all in at that situation. Okay, pause. He just concedes. He doesn't even do the attack. He just concedes. Let's go back to the beginning of this turn real quick. I just want to see something. Okay, so there's a dragon in hand. We have 10 Dawn. The entire board is sideways, guys. The entire board is sideways, right? And they do have a 2K counter in hand. But I think in this situation, I might have tried to go for the board. I might have actually tried to go for the board. And what that would look like is swing 12 into one of the bodies. That's going to get through. Okay, they only have 2 cards in hand. 12 is going to get through to one of these 8s, no problem. And then you have a dragon follow-up where it's like, okay, for dragon, all I have to do is smash in with, well, hang on. Can we keep the Rayleigh active? So we would have to go 9 and 9, I guess. And I guess that he would be able to save one of them. So I guess it didn't matter in the end. But that's probably how I would have tried to go about it. But in the end, I guess it just didn't even matter. Okay. What was that Linkin Park quote there? In the end, it didn't even matter. Okay. Now, really good stuff there. That was a great game. Congrats to the blue-black Usopp player winning on the winning on the main stage. I do not think this deck won the whole thing. Spoiler warning, but I'm just saying it did win this game. This was just one random game in there. Okay, so now let's go ahead and check out the meta for over in the East and West. We're going to check out the West first for OP09, see how things are shaping up, and then we'll move over to the East. So here we go, guys. This is all that's come in so far, because remember, last week was like the first week for OP09 for us over here in the West, like legal, not pre-release stuff. And it looks like Purple Luffy is seeing a lot of play right now, Shanks and Blackbeard. It looks like those are the main decks to look out for, to meta against, and all that. Top 4 raise you list here at a 51-player tournament. Very nice. Second place, Bello Betty. You love to see it. Very good stuff here with these two. But everything else. Oh, excuse me. And there is one purple-black Luffy. I almost missed purple-black Luffy. How could I? Yeah. Other than that, every single other deck mentioned here or shown here is is 3 decks. It is Shanks, Blackbeard, and Purple Luffy. It looks like those 3, red, purple, and black, are going to be the big dogs in this format. I'm sure Blue Dofi is not far behind. Who knows? People might mess around with Green Uda or Green Bonnie. We'll have to see. And then when it comes to yellow, I think Enel can also still for sure compete. So was that everything? Did I mention? So red, blue, we said so red, Shanks, blue, Dofi, green, Bonnie or Uda, purple, Luffy, black would be Blackbeard or Lucci. I think Lucci's also still just fine. And then yellow would be Enel and potentially Katakuri, depending on how you build the list. I'm going to be showing off a Katakuri list in a minute. So for OP09 in the East, these are in the West, these are the early results. Looks pretty good. Very nice with this Raise You list and the Bello Betty list. And make sure to check this site out for yourselves, guys, if you want to know the list for each one of these, and you can analyze them and break them down and see what the common denominators are and all that good stuff. I'm just going to click on one of each one. So I'll just look at the biggest event here, 51-player event. Let's see what Purple Luffy's running these days. And this is OP09. And check this out. I think this is a pretty straightforward list, guys. Pretty straightforward. Running the 2K counter for Inosuke, Sanji. And it's all about this now. It's just you ramp as fast as you can and start going crazy blocker card advantage. These draw 2 trash 1 blockers like Onami. Technically it's a trash 1 draw 2, but it doesn't matter. The idea is it's draw 2 trash 1, right? Like you're getting 2 cards and getting rid of one of them. So you have this on the board, and I'm surprised there's no 5-cost Queen in this deck. Instead, they're running the 5-cost Eustace Kid. Very interesting. But we do have tons of card draw. We have 4 Trafalgar Laws, the new Searcher. Pause and read this if you don't know what it does. The translation is not perfect on this site, but you'll get the idea of what it does. 3 of the 9-cost Luffy draws a card. 4 of the Onami trash 1, draw 2. When you have 8 Dawn or more, you're technically drawing a card with Charlotte Linland. Even though you're trashing a card, you're basically cycling it, and it's a life card. So just absolutely massive, establishing a body, pushing cards off the board. And when you're gaining life in this deck, well, guess what? You're potentially ramping more later. It just, or you're kind of fixing your ramp from earlier on while dealing with the board and establishing tempo and momentum. Really good stuff there. Uso Hachi's one of the best 2K counters you could ask for in the game right now. It's a 3-cost, 3,000 power 2K counter. That part's all whatever. It's the on play. I mean, the 2K counter's massive, but the on play is if you have 8 or more Dawn, rest of 5 or less. Massive. We have the insane tempo going on here with the 3 main guys, right? The 3 main protagonists in the actual One Piece universe. You got Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji. This little triple team, group. Yeah, this team here is just incredible. Really, really strong. All of these. Notice they're all at 4-ofs. Sanji's drawing you cards. Remember, that's like the theme of this deck. We're drawing cards with Law. We're drawing cards with Giant. We're drawing cards with Luffy, Sanji, Onami. Where's the... I think there was one more, wasn't there? No, technically not. I was saying technically the Linlin, like, kind of, like, pseudo draws you a card by putting it into life. Lets you cycle like that. But yeah, other than that, like, these three are just holding it down as huge pressure in the mid game. This card is an insane finisher. I don't think people pause and read this if you don't know what this card does, guys. It just gets there. It's just an absolutely incredible card. And then 9-cost Luffy is a great finisher as well. You've got here's the one thing I will say though. I actually think I would rather this be something like the Kaido, the 9-cost Kaido. I understand you can search it up with things like this and things like this. I totally understand. But the thing is, I just feel like the Kaido card is a little more impactful. Obviously, it should be. It does way more Dawn Minus, so it better be more impactful, right? Popping a character and it has Rush. I just feel like that. I feel like that's a little more geared to towards what the deck should do. But hey, I'm not saying this is a bad card either, though. Like, this has a little more utility where it has Rush and draws you a card to replace itself, and they're both 9 Dawn 10k rushers. You know, so I don't know. You guys tell me what y'all think in the comment section below. But notice this: we got 2, 4, 8, 12. We have 12 2K counters in this deck, and then we're also running 4 Gum Giants. Just massive. Just massive. Okay, next deck. So that's purple for you. Let's look at the best placing Shanks deck here. Top 4 at a 19-player tournament. Let me see. 6-1, second place at a Eggman event here for 128 players. We'll look at this one. Okay, so here's the Shanks deck, and then we're going to look at a Blackbeard deck. So here we go. This is Shanks. It's got 4 Otamas and a Sanji for some 2K counters. What else has it got for 2Ks? It's got the Lime Juice and the Hongo. So 4, 8, 12, 13. And it's got 13 2K counters. And then it's got a 0-cost 3K and 3 2-cost 4Ks. Super powerful. It's got Lucky Ruin here as well. It's got two Goldie Rogers, all 4 of the 10-cost Shanks. One of the other 10-cost Shanks that pops a character. This is the other one. It's got Ace in here. It's got the Marco. I would expect a little more events to run the Marco, because I know that's something that's going around amongst the Shanks decks right now. But hey, still very powerful. 3 Dragons, 4 Rayleighs, 4 Beckman, 2 of the 5-cost Rayleigh. Really, really solid deck. Looks really good. Looks really strong. Yeah, not too much to talk about here. I do plan on, I don't know if I mentioned this at the beginning of the video, but I do plan on going over like Shanks, Blackbeard, Blue Doffy, and giving each one their own individual like videos, their own unique videos later, but not yet. Okay, and then let's look at Blackbeard. We have 2 options here. We have a first place list in a 4-0 win-a-box tournament, or then a 6-1 list at 128 player. I think we're going to go with the 128 player tournament. 6-1, we take that. Okay, and this is pretty much, I think currently this probably gets like one of the votes for like the most boring list out there, at least in my opinion. I'm not trying to be mean. If you're a Blackbeard player, by all means, like, I mean, I think Blackbeard's solid. I think this is a very good deck, but it seems like this is just the deck for every single one of them, and the only thing that changes is like, well, number 1, this Tempest Kick. That's pretty spicy in the Jacks. Some decks are not running Jacks or the Tempest Kick, but overall you're going to expect to see the Finger Gun. I think this is actually called Black Hole, even though it says Liberation. I think it's actually called Black Hole. The stage, of course, you know, this is my era, or this is my time, whatever it's called, and then everything else looks pretty straightforward. And there are a few little tech cards here and there that people put in. I do understand, but at the same time, like I said, this list seems very straightforward to me. You're gonna want your Burgesses. Now they're running One-Legged Toy Soldier. That is, I guess, pretty spicy. They're running 4 Stronger, 4 of, is that it for 2Ks? Hang on. 2 Shiryu and 2 of the One-Legged Toy Soldier. So they basically took 2 Shiryus out for 2 One-Legged Toy Soldiers for more utility. I do like that. I do actually like that quite a bit. But then 4 Laboons, I feel like that's... Here are the cards I feel like are standard. 4 Laboon, 4 Burgess, 4 Stronger, 4 Lafitte, to only 2 of the stage. Now, that I do feel like is a little bit lower than I would have expected, but it's because they're probably running 3 of these Tempest Kicks. But they got the 4 Finger Guns. I think that's absolutely staple. 4 Teach, 4 Doc Q, 4 Lafitte. And then this Liberation's always like a 2 or 3 F from what I've seen. But But yeah, really solid list. Again, I'm not talking anything bad about the list. It just seems like a list that kind of builds itself. It doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of wiggle room just yet because of how specific the deck needs to be with this, with the way the leader's worded. Pause and read this if you don't know what it does. As it gets more and more options in the future, I'm sure there will be more and more deck decisions, more options. But like with Shanks, and who knows, maybe they just haven't figured out how to build, teach to the best of their ability yet, or like to its highest potential yet. It's very possible. But I feel like Shanks was the same way. At first, it was a very standard, boring list, but then you started seeing the dragons pop up. You started seeing, I mean, Rayleigh was kind of always in there, but you started seeing like the Marco Tech plus the 5-cost Ace with all the events. It started kind of fixing itself. And I feel like Teach has not been figured out to that degree yet, and who knows, maybe it won't be until it gets more better options in the future. Okay, all right, well, that's it for the West for OP09. Now we are going to check out OP10 in the East, okay, guys? And tell me what y'all think about OP09. What are y'all going to be running for OP09? So, real quick, let's kind of breeze through this. Let me, hang on, how many, let me do, it's on 100 per page. Let me see something. Okay, good. There's only 88 entries, so we'll be able to fit all this on one page. So, just kind of going through this, guys, let's, like, sort by details. Will it let me? Or perfect. Okay, we'll sort by the deck profile. So looking at, it looks like 5 Eustace Kid decks have already been, shown up. First place at a 42-player tournament. These are smaller ones here. Looks like 27, 17. Who knows how big this flagship was? This was in Indonesia. But it does look like Eustace Kid is starting to pop up on the radar. Looks good, too. I can't wait to mess around with some of the cards coming out in OP10, guys. One deck got top 16 in Tokyo. Okay, I think that was at the tournament we were just checking out with the player who's playing Usopp. Very nice. It went 8-2. We will look at that deck real quick. We'll look at that immediately. And just kind of glance through this. If you want to know more about it and like look at it slower, make sure to hop on the on One Piece Top Decks and check it out for yourself. So that way you can go at your own speed. But for Cavendish, this is probably why this card's gone up in price lately. Of course, it's running, both of the Trafalgar Laws, because you can cheat those into play and use their effects immediately from life with the leader effect. You can set them into life with a card like this. Very, very powerful. It's got 4 of the Basil Hawkins card, and it is not running any of the 8 costs Eustace Kid. That makes me a little bit sad because I just love that card. I think it's so good. I expected it to run Trafalgar Law. It's kind of meant for this deck. I understand this card, but I wish it was running the 8-cost Eustace Kid. I understand why it's not. There's technically better options, right? I'm sure there are, especially for this specific deck. This is a very specific style of deck. Let me make my head a little bit bigger for you guys. I'm like tiny in the corner down there. Okay. But other than that, this deck looks very strong. This new conditional Rush Zoro seems very good. Comes into play off the trigger. Really cool stuff here, guys. Really cool stuff. Cavendish, like I already said. And this is a new 2K counter, Trafalgar Law. But this is a promo. That scares me. It's a promo, but hey, it is what it is. It has like the Revo Army condition, but your leader has to be Supernova. If your leader has the Supernova type and you're in your opponent's life cards total 5 or less, you can play this card from the trigger. 4 cost 5k with a 2k counter, Supernova Heart Pirates type. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. I don't know why this is a promo. This should have been in the set. Really good stuff, though. Okay, let's keep going. So we got Red Green Smoker. 4 of these have already popped up. One got first place at 5-0 at a flagship. 1 Sugar came up, not bad, first place at a store battle. Quite a bit of Usopp. We got 3, 6, 7 Usopps popped up. And we just saw a game of Usopp, by the way, so that's, pretty solid. Let me see. It might have been this one. It says top 32, and it says 24. So who knows? I'm going to click on this and see what this list is, because it's probably at least something similar to what we were just watching. So here's that Ideo card we were just looking at. Or the one I kept talking about. It's running Orlumbus. Oh, there's the new 6-cost 7k secret Monkey D. Luffy. 3 Red Rocks. Yeah, I don't think this is the same list we were just looking at, but it might be. Who knows? But I don't remember seeing Yachts in there or the Luffy or the Red Rock. But I do remember seeing everything else pretty much. And I didn't see Orlumbus either, unless I just couldn't see it. Good stuff, though. Very cool list. Let's keep going. Dofi, quite a bit of representation here. This went 8-0 at a Bandai Maxsoft tournament. It was in a 3v3. Oh, that would frustrate me. I mean, not frustrate me for real, but like think about it. This guy went 8-0 at a 3v3 and only made it top 8. So that means his team didn't do too well. But we will check that out. An 8 and 0 list, you better believe we're going to check that out. I think it's going to be, yeah. So this is just a very standard, straightforward list. It's not running the Josus, apparently, unless I'm just looking over them constantly. Yeah, I don't see Josu. It's running 2 Gravity Blade, 2 Perfume Femurs. It's running all 4 of the 2 cost each card. And then that's everything else is pretty much standard. It's running 3 of the Pudding. Let me see the 2K counter package. It's running 4 Dracula Mihawk, 4 Crocodile, and 4 Buggy. So it's running 12 2K counters. Nothing too crazy there. Hey, but apparently it works, guys, when you go 8 and 0 with it. Maybe he was just high rolling that night. Who knows? But that's a very good turnout. Here's one more I want to look at. A 9 and 2 list in Tokyo. Got top 8. Actually, this one got second place. What is... Okay, we're going to go with the 13 and 0 list. Here we go. We're just going to go with this one, guys. 13 and 0. This will be the last one we look at. We'll move to the next deck. Okay, yeah, I think Josu's the way to go. I'm just going to say it right now, guys. After playing Blue Dofi, I do feel like this card is the way to go. I don't care what you're playing against. There will almost always be a 6 cost or lower target to bounce back. And think about it like this. On a 7 Dawn turn, like say the turn prior was like, let's just say it was a 5 Dawn turn the turn prior, and you somehow set up a Trafalgar Law to bounce back something like Sengoku or Perona or Buggy. Is this even running Buggy? Yeah, it's running 4 Buggies. So there you go. It's all about these little 1-cost characters like Perona, Sengoku, and Buggy. So like, let's just say you bounce one back to your hand the turn before with Trafalgar Law, and let's say it was a 5 Dawn turn. On a 7 Dawn turn, you literally can play out the Sengoku, fix your hand a little bit, and then play out the Josu, returning the Sengoku, popping whatever you need off the board. Not popping, but bouncing it back to the owner's hand, and just setting them so far back in that way. So good stuff, but I think this list is better than the first one we saw. 2 Gecko Morias I think is perfect. They're not running the 10 cost. They're not running 10 cost Kaido, and I kind of agree with that. I know some decks are running it, some are not, some are. I just don't think it's the way to go, especially in OP10. In OP10, no way. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how things change. But the double Perfume Femur, the double Gravity Blade Raging Tiger, absolutely. And then it's still running 2 Puddings. I think that I would probably be running this as a 3 of, to be honest. I would consider running Pudding as a 3 of over the Perfume Femur as a 2 of. I'd probably consider, or even going down 1 Teach. Like go down 1 Teach to go up 1 Pudding. But that's just me. That's just me, guys. Awesome list. Really good stuff. A random red-green Trafalgar Law, but this was a store battle of only 11 players. We're going to pass over that. No disrespect. It is what it is. First place list here at the Yamanashi Cup. 8-0 smoker list. Let's check this out real quick, guys. Let's look at this. Okay, because let's see let's see how much is from OP10, because you might be able to put this deck list together now in OP09. Yeah, guys, every one of these cards is already available for OP09, so you can put this entire deck list together now. In fact, all these cards are OP08.5. There's nothing from OP09 in here. That's crazy. So yeah, hey guys, if you're trying to play Smoker, it looks like somebody cracked the formula here. This guy went 8-0, first place in OP10 with this deck list. So it's got to be pretty decent or something, right? Something like that. I think it's pretty good. Looks really solid. Okay, Katakuri's doing some work here. We are going to look at this top 32 placing at a 650 player tournament for Katakuri. And I think this is running the 8-cost Kid, and we're going to talk about that if these cards do load in. Come on, guys. There we go. Okay, beautiful. Okay, guys, check this out. So with this list, this is running the curve that I've mentioned in multiple different videos. And how are we doing on time? Okay, we're doing okay on time. So, guys, this is the curve that I recommend you go in yellow, period, moving forward, starting in OP10. This curve that I'm about to tell you is filthy. It is disgusting. It is totally degenerate, and I love it. I shouldn't say degenerate, but guys, I absolutely love this curve. So turn 1, you're either dropping down Shira. Let's go second. We're going second for this curve, right? So turn 1, we're dropping down Shirahoshi, or we're dropping down Luffy. Pass. Turn 2, swing for 5 with leader. Just 5. It is what it is. Play down a Basil Hawkins. Pause and read this, guys. Make sure you understand what this card does. You're dropping down a Basil Hawkins, a 4-cost 5K. It has a 1K counter, has a trigger, draw 2, trash 1, and it can have a on KO effect of place up to 1 card from the top of your opponent's life into the trash. Okay? So you swung for 5, you play this guy out, and you pass. Or Kikinojo for a slower pull, right? We got the slower pull with Kikinojo. Then, 6 Dawn turn. Oh, what's this? They trash another life card. 6 cost, 6,000 power. They trash a life card if they have 3 or more cards in life. Incredible. And then, oh, it doesn't stop there. Turn 8, or 8 Dawn turn, so turn 4. drop down 8 cost 9,000 power character that trashes another one of their life cards. And then it does rest itself, but who cares? It doesn't matter if it rests itself. Who's swinging into a 9,000 power body? Like, that would take like their entire turn to get rid of. And if they choose to do that, hey, don't sweat it. Don't worry about it, because this is your next turn. Linlin. That is, so just going 6, 8, 10, just going Nico Robin into Eustace Kid into Linlin is they lose 3 life. Just right off the bat, they lose 3 life. And you gain a life with Linlin, and you're establishing a 6K into a 9K into a 12K. I'm just saying, guys, this is something I have in mind to do with Red Yellow Sabo. So I cannot believe more people are not trying this with like Katakuri. And, well, obviously I won't run the Linlin in Red Yellow Sabo, common sense, guys, but I won't have to, because I could literally just recycle these cards if I needed with Red Yellow Sabo. But then you have the Basil Hawkins, or even Arlong. Maybe there's going to be a modification we have to make towards Arlong, where we throw, Basil Hawkins is going in Arlong. That's just a no-brainer. But maybe we run Eustace Kid as a 1-of or a 2-of in the deck, or maybe even Nico Robin as like as a 2-of or 3-of. There's a lot of potential there. There's a lot of options. I know it's not a trigger body. I understand. But who cares if it wins you games? Who cares? And that's kind of what I'm implying. Is like if you're playing against a 5-life leader and you go, okay, on turn 1 pass, and then as Arlong, and then turn 2, I'm going to swing for 7 and cheat down a Basil Hawkins and knock them down to 4 life, right? Okay, on my next turn, I'm just going to go 5-5. Just swing 5, and then just drop a Nico Robin to trash one of their life cards. And that kind of pressure, now if they choose to attack into your Basil Hawkins, okay, thank you. They lose another life card, and then you just soaked up an attack. So I'm just saying, I feel like there's very little downside. I feel like there's very limited and low downside to running this package in yellow. It might kind of become, we'll have to see, but this might kind of become the template for a strong yellow leader, no matter what. If you just run like that 4, 6, 8 curve in particular of just Hawkins, Nico Robin, Eustace Kid, that curve alone I think is going to do wonders for you against any deck. We'll have to see. Maybe not Blackbeard, but hey, it is what it is. Okay, let's keep going. Really cool list. Enel, this is a 12-1 list we'll check out real quick. This got first place, and I think this one. Okay, this one's very interesting. This went 12 and 1, got first place in an L list here. It's got Lucy in there, guys. Check out Lucy. Pause and read this if you don't know what this does. This is a card I have not seen pop up in quite some time. Then we also have a few other things down here. This is popping anything in the game. This is popping a Fireless and fixing cards in life. Excuse me. We've got Frankie coming in, Shirahoshi, Nami. Yeah, this deck looks disgusting. It looks so filthy. You love to see it. You absolutely love to see it. But there's one thing that I'll recommend going forward is I hope some Enel players try to mess around with removing Katakuri or dropping down to 2 of them and going up 2 Eustace Kids. Because Eustace Kid is just going to be an absolute nuisance. But hey, this deck got first place. It went 12 and 1 at a major tournament. So obviously it works out just fine. Okay, let's try to wrap this up, guys, so that the video doesn't linger on for too long. So here's a 9 and 1, a 9 and 2 list, and it looks like there's a lot of purple Luffy, but we're going to go with the 9 and 1 list here. First place at a 240 player tournament. And this looks very similar to what we've already seen, right? We see the Franosuke's, the Kid, the Kamazo. Wait, was the Kamazo in the other list that we looked at? I have to go back real quick, guys. I'm sorry. We do actually have to go back real quick. We have to go back to the list over here. It was the... It was this first place list, 51 players. It did have Kamazo. The other list did have Kamazo. This is from OP09, the list we looked at before. But okay, back to OP10. Let me sort by deck profile and go back down to Purple Luffy and go to the 9-1 list. It went 9-1 in a 3v3, but still. But this list is almost identical. It looks identical to what we just saw, but they're running 2 Robins, and it looks like they took out 1 Luffy and 1 Onami. And they definitely moved the numbers around a little bit because they only have 1 Franosuke. Oh, but they have 4 Sanjis. So I think they went down 1 Franosuke to go up a Sanji, down 1 Bon Clay to go up a Sanji, or something along those lines. But the point is, they do have 2 Nico Robins that are different, and then a few different numbers here and there. Completely identical list. It looks like we might have a set Purple Luffy list that is top-notch. Okay, a random Gecko Moria flagship at some place in Indonesia. I guess we'll at least look at that real quick. Why not just at least look at it, right? Kuzan. Okay, it's like a Navy version. It is running Kaido, Absalom. I just wanted to see if it was running the new, some of the new stuff. It's really not. I guess it is running the new Ryuma. 4 cost, 6k. Dawn times 1 gets double attack. Seems good. Land of Wano, Thriller Bark type. Very cool. But other than that, it's pretty straightforward. It's like the whole Navy Thriller Bark hybrid. Bonnie. We got a Jory Bonnie list here. We're going to choose the 9-in-1 top 16 list right here. Let's see what they're building. I don't expect too much to be different in this deck. Nope. Pretty much nothing. Oh, actually, I take that back. I mean, it's not much different, to be fair. But look at this, guys. They have, instead of running Uruj, instead of running Uruj and something else, the 10-cost Dofi, because they were already swapping over to Shanks, right? They were already swapping over to Shanks. We knew they were running Hody Jones. Yeah, I think instead of running the Uruj and the 10-cost Dofi, it looks like they've added more 2K counters here. Well, maybe that means they've moved the numbers around, because, I mean, they haven't really gone up any 2K counters, have they? Oh, okay. They've completely removed the Don Quixote Searcher and everything. Excuse me. So, okay. That is a decent change. No 10-cost Dofi, no 2K counter Baby 5, and no Searcher Baby 5 either, for that matter. And then it looks like they adjusted the numbers elsewhere. They went up these killers right here. And, yeah, it looks good. This list looks really good, guys. This list looks really good. Pause and read this if you don't know what this Smoker does. Very solid card. 5 cost, 7k banish. And then you can also get extra Dawn. So this is kind of your new Uruj, right? It's not the same thing. It's not a blocker, but still it kind of has that same ability to stand up a Dawn in a turn. And this new Tashigi is just really, really solid. Great utility 2k counter. Okay, next deck. It looks like we got 3 Luchis popping up. This deck's not going anywhere, I don't think. 6-1 at a 3v3 event. This is just literally Lucci, guys. I mean, this is running 4 Kaidos, probably to deal with the 10-cost Blackbeard against the Blackbeard matchup. But this is just Lucci. Nothing too crazy here, guys. All right, Blackbeard. Here's a 9-0 list. We'll just go straight to this one. And, again, this is just the same list we've already seen, but they are running the new Kuzan card. It looks like that's the only new addition. But this one's... See, now, this one's not running the one-legged toy soldier. It's running the new. It's running one of the new 6-cost event that can clear 2 bodies off the board if you have less than 2. If you have 2 or more less characters than your opponent. It's worded very strangely. Pause and read it if you need to know what it does. Okay, and it's running 3 finger gun, 3 of the Shigan finger pistol, and only 3 of the Liberation. I think this is actually called Black Hole. So very good. Looks solid. Very good. This deck kind of builds itself, like I was saying. It's pretty basic, pretty straightforward. But hey, if it works, it works. And then we got Lim. Lim kind of popped off on the first week, I think, and I don't know if it's been doing anything since then. We'll have to, you guys tell. If y'all are in the East and you're playing, tell me if this deck is like a real menace or what. But it's trying to ramp to Eustace Kid or Zoro, slam it down, or ADO, because it can get there very, very consistently with its leader effect. And then the rest gets thrown down in normal fashion. It is running this new 1-cost character here. This really helps your combos. It's a great turn 1 play. It can stand itself at the end of turn because it says you may set up to 1 of your Odyssey type characters active at the end of your turn. Okay, so you can set this card as active, and then if you have 2 or more characters in play, this is the new character, Enel, that came out in Odyssey for OP10. Draw 3, trash 2. If you have 2 or more rested characters. So in other words, if you play this out on turn 1, think about it. It comes into play rested in a turn, stand it, and then turn 2 and you're on 3 Dawn, you swing for 0. Okay, it doesn't matter. You needed to rest the card. That's all you needed. And now you can play out the Enel. He will come into play rested, and then at the end of turn, if you want to, you can actually stand up the Enel. I would probably just keep standing this up because a 6k body is easier to defend. And hey, if they attack everything in here, that's fine, right? It is what it is. Still running the Dofi. This card's absolutely cracked. Really good card. And it's running another new card in Dractyl Mihawk. If you have 2 or more rested characters, set up to 1 of your cost 5 or lower Odyssey type characters as active. So here's another one. Set up to 1 of your cost 5 or lower rested. Okay, so this will allow you to attack in and then attack again, right? Or if it comes into play, it can also set up to 1 of your cost 5 or lower. Yeah, it doesn't say 1 of your other cost 5 or lower characters, so I think it can stand itself as well if you can meet the condition when it comes into play. Really good stuff. Okay, we're almost done, guys. We got 2 more major decks to look at here. Shanks. Here's a 9-1 list, top 16. This is a first place list, but it's at 3v3. We're gonna the 3v3s I just don't care about as much, but it is still good to look at them. I'm gonna look at this 9-1 list here. Okay, and yeah, this is kind of the new. Oh wow, beautiful! This has got the new Divine Departure in there too. Really, really cool. And it's running 4 Udas. So it looks like they've reverted back. Oh, here's the new Tony Chopper we saw earlier. It's a 4-cost 4K 2K counter blocker, and it has plus 2,000 on your opponent's turn. Really strong utility card here. But it's only got 3 Lucky Roo. I'm surprised it's not 4. This card is a menace. It's an absolute menace. And at the end of the day, what's the worst case scenario? It's a 4-cost 5K blocker with a 1K counter. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Yasop, we know what he does. Ben Beckman, Hongo, and Lime Juice for 2K counters. 3 Building Snakes. 4 Otama. Yeah, looks good. Looks really, really strong. Now, this list here is not what we were looking at earlier, where it's more of like the event heavy, where it's running the Marcos and the 5-cost aces, which I do like that list a lot, but I do like this card a lot. I am glad to see this coming into play and, like, showing up. Really good stuff. Okay. So we got Red Purple Kid here. It did go 6-3 at some kind of tournament, some kind of side tournament maybe. And let's see what it's running. I don't think there's anything too special about this list, guys. Go check it out for yourself. This one's actually running a lot of Red Hair Pirate stuff. But of course, this is the main star of the show, right? What we're gonna do is we're gonna go Punk Rodden and give our leader plus 5,000 for the turn, and then we're going to swing with him, and then Dawn -1, or play this out and Dawn -1, and swing again. That's like the little 1-2 punch combo there. Extremely relevant, very, very powerful. You can smash in for so much, guys. You can smash in for so much. Because look at it like this. Okay, you can play this out for 2 and Dawn -1, one of the Dawn you tap to play it. So that is 5,000. So it's 10,000 power there. So you need 2 Dawn and then 5 Dawn. So that's 7. You can put 3 on. So you can swing for 13 twice with your leader with these effects. And excuse me, it'll be 13, and then it will also be plus 2. So it'll be 15 and then 17. Very massive attacks coming in if you need them. You'll go backwards a lot of Dawn, so I wouldn't just try that. I mean, because you would go back 4 Dawn, right? Because the Dawn -1 you'd get to do twice. Dawn -1 from the Killer, this card, and then Dawn -1 from the Punk Rotten. So you don't want to do that unless you absolutely have to win the game. But hey, that's a lot of firepower if you can pull it off. Okay, Red Purple Luffy. We're gonna look at that real quick. 5-0 list. Here's a 6-0 list. We'll snag. Let's take a look at it. Okay. Pretty straightforward. I think this is a pretty straightforward list, guys. Actually, it's a little bit spicy, I guess. It's running the 9-cost Luffy. It looks like they've gotten away, or this list at least has gotten away from the 10-cost Luffy, and it's going 10-cost Roger. It's running 2 of them, and I'm surprised it doesn't run more. Just start slamming them one after another after another. What are they going to do? Attack it to a 13K body? Be my guest. This card is a monster, and if you can ramp to it, and you're running the ramp cards, 4 Zoros, 4 Mr. 2 Boncores, and yeah, really good stuff here. Great 2K counter replacement here with this Chopper. This is really going to fit this kind of deck. It's got the Searchers for the Rad Beams. Well, I guess Gum Gum Giant now. And yeah, Sanji's a great closer. It just goes big, packs them up. Good stuff. Green Uda. We do have to check out this list real quickly. And yep, nothing too crazy here. I'm just going to, kind of mosey over it. This list does not really change much. It is kind of forced into film because of how the leader effect works. It can't be too crazy until we start seeing way more green film cards in the future. Okay, and 1 Black-Yellow Luffy still was able to manage a first place at a flagship in a 30-player tournament. And it looks like they're running an Ivankov, 2 of the Rush Aces, and they are running 3 Rygos, probably to deal with some of these big characters now, like 10-cost Shanks and 10-cost Blackbeard. Okay, we're done, guys. We're going to wrap it up there. I am at least going to show you guys over here on gumgum.gg. They've got a lot of information as well, but it's kind of just a recap of what we were just looking at, and you can mosey through this as well. I'll put the link in the comment section below so you can kind of check it out at your own leisure, at your own pace. But again, it's kind of stuff we've already been looking at. All right, so let's go ahead and hop over to I got 2 games for you guys today. 2 games. All right, so first up we have a game of... Well, they're both going to be the same game. We got a game of Blackbeard versus Katakuri, or Katakuri versus Blackbeard twice in a row. Okay, so let me get the volume off. Let's get the speed on 2x, and here we go. All right, so I heard some people were struggling with this matchup. One of my buddies, and he was saying that it's probably going to be kind of like not unwinnable, but very, very tough. And I'm like, okay, well then I think we just have to make the deck more aggressive. So of course we stack it full of triggers, and we're off to the races. So we'll swing for 5 to start here. I think we'll swing for 5 more. We'll swing for 7, and then we'll play out a Parasparrow. Very nice. Got Onami on top. We'll keep that right there. That's fine. That's fine right there. And we'll play out the Pero Sparrow. And we will also aggressively counter out to save this Sanji if we have to. If we have to. We'll see what happens. Okay, so he's going to play out a bunch of Lafitte. 5 and a 5. Okay, we can very easily get out of that one. Might as well. They're going to play This Is My Age, or This Is My Era, or whatever it's called. And they're going to trash 2 cards there. And they got, I think they got a 2K counter from it. We're going to go 5 into 1, and then 5 more into 1. Yeah, this is going to be a very straightforward game here. You know, we're just going to eat up the board and go super wide on him. Okay, and I think we're going to swing in for 8. He'll probably give me a blocker here, potentially. I see a Van Augur. I'm not too scared of that card. He can have that, especially because next turn he only has 7 Dawn. So we're going to play out the Kikinojo, and it looks like... What just happened? He KO'd my Sanji with... so I probably should have left that card on top. Hang on, guys. It looks like he got a trigger. So I pushed the Van Augur to the bottom, and it looks like when I attacked, he got a trigger to pop my Sanji. So I probably should have left the Van Augur on top. That was a play mistake, guys. That was definitely a play mistake. But we do play out the Kikinojo now, and they're going to swing 5 into 5. Again, I probably should have saved it. I think I should have just saved that card, guys. They play out a Jack. They're going to trash a card and turn off my leader effect. I think it's probably a little too late for the Jack. I think it's a little bit too late for Jack here. But we'll see what happens. I think we should just fill out the board. Okay, looks like I'm going to go a little bit aggressive here. We're going for 8. See if he wants to give me a blocker or a double 2K. Nope. Okay, so swing 8, swing 9. And he's going to use the blocker. We're going to play out the Pero Sparrow, and your turn. And this turn, so I'm on 8 Dawn, right? He's on 9 Dawn. He has to use his leader effect, or I'm going to 10 cost Linlin and just run him over, right? I might just 10 cost Linlin anyway. Just go 5, swing 6, Linlin. Go. Your turn. Okay. Let's see what they choose to do here. 7 into 6. 2K. Yep, not happening. I don't know why I didn't attack that with his with the Jack. He's really searching for something. Okay, he did turn off my leader effect. So it looks like I'm going to try to be a little bit aggressive here. Okay, we'll go swing 10, and then it'll be swing 10, 11, 12. They had to give me that. Well, all right, if that's the case, I think maybe the best call from here is then just to go like 9 into 8. Let's see if he can save it. I already know it was on top, and he lets it go. That was a little bit risky there. I probably should have done just 9, and then I could have gone 10 into the Jack, just in case, or more into face. So that was a little bit off in my opinion. Swing 5, we take that. Brule. I'll look at my top life card. We already know what it is. I probably should have looked at his, but I know it's a Van Augur. Remember, we already saw it. Okay, so now we can go swing 9, swing 11, and this is going to be game. I'm not sure what I'm doing here. I look at my top life card. It's a Linlin. Oh, I must have moved it down. I don't know what just happened. Okay, I don't know what's going on right now either. Like, what on earth is happening? Why did I play out a Jory Bonnie? Okay. Wait, what? Did something just happen there? Hang on, guys. Oh, I can't swing. What am I doing, guys? That is so funny. Why did I put Dawn on my my Para Sparrow? He had it locked down. I'm like, wait a minute. What am I doing? And he played out the Marshall D Teach. So that was just a goof. That was just a blunder. Whoopsie daisy. Too funny. Okay, swings in for 5. We're going to 1 count of that one. We don't want to get too greedy. We'll take this one. We can't pop that card, unfortunately, with it, but we'll pop the Lafitte. And, yeah, he's going to play out another Marshall D Teach. He's going to use his effect there. And right here, I think I just need to go all in on face. Actually, I could just go all in on instead of putting 1 there, I could have gone all in on the Burgess. going all in on Burgess would have been a pretty decent play there. Because he loses a character no matter what. Okay, now we just got to draw 2 trash one. We'll trash the Big Mom. Don't need that anymore. And now he might think he can go for lethal. But the thing is, I do have a beige on top of my life. So I just go ahead and shut down that attack for the turn, and we're going in for 15 here, guys. That's the play. All right, he's starting to load up these. He's starting to load up these 10 cost 12Ks. Okay, he does not decide to attack, and he just kind of passes there. He definitely. I think he probably should have attacked. I'm just going to say that. I think he should have attacked. But he did it. We take those. Don't worry. That's why I had 2 games prepared for today, because that was one of those that ended on like a what if he attacked kind of thing. He didn't, unfortunately. So we're not going to, we'll never know. All right, so we got another game of Blackbeard here. This is a totally different game. And they're going to start off by swinging for 6. We'll give him a 2K because I have a lot of 2Ks in hand. We'll just kind of play smart here. Swinging for 5, he takes this. any trigger, no trigger. Top 5 search will grab a Sparrow. That was perfect. Because otherwise I didn't really have a follow-up play. Okay, so they pop the Sparrow. I do a top 5 search, or top 3 search rather. And now they're going to swing in. I get the Nika Robin. I could have played out one of those 3-cost cards, I guess, from the trigger, but I chose not to. We'll go 6 into 5. Let's see what he does. Looking at my top life card, I totally missed it, whatever it was, guys. I don't want to pause, though, because we're getting over the hour mark. We'll keep going. Keep up the pace here. So we're going to trash a card from hand. I just trashed the other Nami because I figure he's going to shut down on plays after this turn. If he doesn't shut down on plays after this turn, he's just like asking for it. Plays out Beige, plays out Vasco Shot. Uses his leader effect to turn off the on plays. But I'm going to just attack, guys. That's the name of the game here. Okay, we'll keep that card. I think we'll keep it on top. We'll swing it for 7. He blocks with it. Play out the Kikinojo. Play out the Parasparrow. It's all about going wide against this deck, guys, and like having enough triggers to capitalize on. Swing 5 into there. I'm like, sure. Plays out 2 more Burgess. Seems good. Trashes the card with his leader effect. And I don't know what he's going for here, guys, but we're not too happy about that. Okay, I'm going to swing for 7. I see a Marshall D. Teach. That's going on the bottom of his life. He 2K, 1Ks to get out of that. Okay, I've got 2 more attacks coming in. This one's going to connect for sure. Let's see. They always have a trigger in life, man. I'm surprised they didn't. Hey, just like yellow, right? I'm not complaining. I'm just saying they always have a trigger. Okay, play off the Nico Robin. He's got to shut down one of these. Okay, 5 into 5. Sure. We'll do a top search. And now he's probably going to swing in there. 8 into 6. I was going to take that. And we get a trigger body. Seems good. Oh, swing in again, huh? All right, hadn't learned his lesson. All right, we'll take. Let's see if we can get another trigger. Oh, man, we decided to counter out of that one. Okay, he did wisely use his leader effect there, so now I can't get around what he has. But right here, I think he gets a little bit overwhelmed or something. I'm not exactly sure. Excuse me. I think I should have just, like, gone into some stuff here. Actually, I don't know. I think I should have gone 10 into life and then saved the rest to go into something on the board. I'm trying to do a little bit of math here is what's happening. I'm like, you know what? Just go 15-8. Go 15 into 8. We'll bottom deck that now. Or bottom life that because it doesn't help us anymore. We need a trigger body this turn. Okay, so he's going to use a Tempest Kick here, probably just to draw cycle a card. But now he can't play another 10-cost Marshall D. Teach, so he's just in so much trouble. 7 into 5. We get a Kikinojo. I mean, it's going to be straight triggers. I'll spoil it for you guys. Like, I mean, yeah, pause. This entire version I'm about to show you guys, it's like straight trigger category. So GG, he just gives up because it's over at that point. He has a 1K and a 1K in hand, and we know what his top life card is, or his only life card left, because we put it there. So it was going to be, okay, I would probably try to swing for 7, and it would have actually gone through because he doesn't have anything other than 2 1Ks. It was going to be 7, 7, 9, 9, or something along those lines. So he just didn't have a chance. Okay, good game, though. Very good game. Now let me go over to the deck list real quick. And this is the list I was running. It's basically a take on my buddy Richard's list I showed off in the past. Like, I took his list and just modified it and made it a little more aggressive. Running 2 of this Tropical Torment. Running pretty much all triggers. Notice that, guys. We got Kikinojo. I'm even running 2 of the Luffy cards. 3 Bonnies. 4 Namis. 3 Nika Robin. The Tropical Torments can really mess up a player's life big time. Onami can get banished as well, and it also is just a great trigger. Satori, Sanji, Beige, and Parasparrow. Of course, I'm trying to use these guys to get straight to my Charlotte Linlin, but I do have a 2K counter I can snag with it. I do have a blocker I can get with the pudding. I do have, I got a few other options here and there. Not a whole lot, to be honest. It's really just like kind of in this region right here. And then, of course, Tinlin. That's the main target I'm searching for most of the time, so... Yeah, that's it, guys. Hope you all enjoyed. I'm done yapping. Let me go and put up the playmat page. Big shout out to everybody who supports the channel, guys. Please do not forget to like and subscribe if you have not already. And if you got, guys, if you're liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, viewing my stuff, you're helping me out big time. I really appreciate it. Big shout out to all the VV Pirates playmat supporters. I hope you guys are enjoying your mat. And then last but not least, of course, we've got the patrons page. Big shout out to everybody on here. Thank you guys so much for supporting. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel in the ways you do. All right, we're done. Hope you all enjoyed. Until next time, guys. Peace.